Hey guys, so in today's video, as the title suggests, I will kind of break down my portfolio for 2024. I will kind of have the introduction, the liquid portfolio breakdown, my stocks breakdown, and kind of what was my win in 2024, what's my not so good wins in 2024, what's my plan in 2025. So I think this is a very rather casual video lah. So maybe I can start here, right? So I think giving an introduction is very, very important for context. So I think I'm definitely a normal salaryman working in 9 to 5. This portfolio reflects the market value of my position. It does not reflect the contribution that I put in. So what does this mean is that, for example, I may only put in 100,000, but the market value grew to 300,000, for example, right? So this only reflects the market value. It doesn't purely on the contribution side of things lah. Um, Partial of my cash position actually is a gift from my parents that I have no intention to use it. This portfolio does not also include any illiquid position, for example, my EPF, my PRS. So these positions are actually typically illiquid. I couldn't really get the money out in case of any emergency. So I don't think I would want to include it in this portfolio. This portfolio does not include any liabilities that I may have, for example, credit card loans, all the different installment, for example, any loans that I may have. So this portfolio does not reflect my actual net worth lah. Okay. So giving you guys a breakdown, so I think if you guys can see, it's quite apparent that my cash position is actually quite large at 60 over percent. Um, the I will explain breakdown even further each of the category here, but I think one of the overarching theme is that I might have use for cash in the future, so I'm holding more cash now. And I think the market now is actually extremely high. Every day is breaking all-time high, right? And I I I, I couldn't find value play that I can purchase good companies at a good price lah. So now most of my cash is just dollar cost average into passive ETF that over here. So if you look at the second largest position is actually my US stock portfolio. So this US stock portfolio where I have been growing it for like 3 or 4 years each. So previously my largest position is actually in crypto, but I think some of the stupid moves, some of the bad decision, and some of the sell off that I did kind of string the position over here. But extremely grateful that crypto is also going to is at all-time high now. So yeah, so it's still okay. Passive ETF is actually it's very similar to US stock lah, right? But this is just purely an ETF play where I'm invested in S&P 500 over here, where I do a weekly DCA using StashAway lah. So this is just the passive ETF portion. While the Malaysia stock, I have no plans in growing Malaysia stock because to me I think Malaysia stock is more muted, and I couldn't find great company, so I do not know how to analyze. So maybe I would just I think what I plan to do in 2025 is to subscribe to more IPOs, and then maybe do some swing trading over there. So I think I'm not growing the Malaysian stock portfolio at the moment lah. Okay. So in terms of cash breakdown, as I mentioned before, right, I think ASMB it typically use 4.75% to 5.5% annually. So I think it's quite a good thing where like the value of the unit always stay at 1 ringgit. Don't buy the variable unit trust. It is trash. So just buy the fixed one. So there's ASM1, ASM2, ASM3. So this is the big chunk of the money that I have at the moment that is earning 4 to 5% risk-free rate, which I think it is very hard to come by. So yeah, I think in this year also we can see a lot of digital banks that is emerging. So typically when all these digital banks come out, right, they will come out with quite attractive proposition USP that users like you and I can capitalize on. So I think some of the my cash is in one of the digital bank at running like 2 to 3.6% per annum. So I'm spreading it everywhere because some digital bank I like it because of their UI UX. Some digital bank I just like it because of their higher rates. So this high yield savings account is what I use to pay my day-to-day bills, my credit card bills, things like that. Um, the third part is actually money market fund. I think I'm using Versa money market fund as my MF. It's earning roughly 3.6% per annum. Um, so you can, there's a shameless plug here. You can use my referral code if you invest like first deposit 100 ringgit and you can get 10 ringgit off, 10 ringgit extra, right? So this is so some part of my money is in the money market fund portion lah. So next, I will kind of talk about my US stock breakdown. I think it's quite polarizing, right? So I think if I want to start with the small little position over here, right? So if you can see, there are some other small little bets, right? These are all back in 2019 or 2020, all my small little bets when I'm still a little fresh grad lah. So all these did fairly badly. I can say I didn't really research the company. So all these are just I didn't grow the size of it. So I think Valente is one that I bought back in. So this is a long story, right? I bought in like $20, then it dropped to $8, then still buy a little bit, right? Then sold at $43 majority of it, now still left a little bit, but now it's $80 lah, so I really don't like it. So C Limited is also a big bet that I had back in 2020 where e-commerce is a booming industry, right? Then I put a lot of money in, but then it just went down like 70-80% of it. Then I didn't grow it anymore lah, because when I started realizing, okay, e-commerce is a business. Yes, it can be profitable in the long run. I think C is profitable now, right? But I think in the long run, it's still the Southeast Asian market still requires a lot of cash burning um initiatives. For example, we are very price sensitive market, right? So I foresee they will use a lot of marketing dollars, and I typically don't like a non-dominant kind of play lah, where they need to burn a lot of cash to get market share. So this one, maybe I will add soon, but because the financial is getting better, but I think for now I just remain it like that, no touch, no top up anything. Then these are the more recent purchase big bets that I had. So I think as you can see, Tesla and Apple remains the biggest position. So Tesla, I think this stock has been with me for quite some time, since like 2020 when all the hype happened, right? So all-time high went up to $400. My average cost maybe is like $200, right? Then it went all the way down to $100, and then now it's on all-time high again. So I've been riding with this stock like all this while. I'm regretting that I didn't really buy a lot during the Elon Musk controversy when they buy Twitter and all, right? But I think slowly, I think it is still overvalued at the moment. I wouldn't add any new position over here, but I do foresee Tesla will grow into one of the um largest market cap company in the future with all the things that they're doing, right? Then Apple is more like it's more like a bond position, not to say bond lah, but like a super stable company. Even though iPhone is not growing market share, but like they are still printing money every single year, and there's a lot of FUD about this stock when it was like $130 or $160, right? So that's where I bought majority of my Apple share over here. I think the 20% has grown, has kind of grown. I don't think I purchased that much, but I think this position has grown lah. So there's a lot of fun and all. Then I still believe in the service side of things. I still believe that they will innovate one day. So now it's just in a weird thing, right? But they still keep printing money and all-time high, right? So then they are keep buying their stock back. So the stock just keep reaching all-time high. So yeah, I think Apple is still something that I don't plan to sell. So this is the Baba. Next is the is it used to be my second largest position until Tesla and Apple kind of went haywire with their uh, with their valuations, right? Then Baba is my second largest conviction now because I do think it's extremely undervalued now. I think the PE is like single digit at the moment. There's a lot of fun in the Chinese market where all the liquidity is pumped to the US. But I think um the green dragon will come one day lah, right? So it almost came in 2024, but I think 2025 will be the year. So let's see. This two is S&P play. I think typically I have a tradition where, for example, like in the beginning of every year, 1st of January, for example, I will buy S&P 500 in bulk. So I think this has been my S&P 500 play. It's in 14% allocation now. And Google is my one of my largest conviction now. I think there's a lot of FUD when ChatGPT came in, and like everyone is saying that Google is gonna die, blah 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 blah. And look, and they just reached like almost all-time high again. So I think I bought it extremely cheap when it's like $130 when like there's a lot of FUD. So I think I really like to buy like stocks when people like beat down on it sometimes. So yeah. So all I can say majority of my position is in the green. Yeah, all of them are in the green now. Since the US market is in all-time high, right? I think except all the small little position like C Limited and some of the small bets during the 2019 and 2020 bets lah, which is very little, so I don't really care lah. Okay. So what I have learned in 2024, right? I think I am quite mentally strong in the sense where there's a lot of FUD in Tesla, Google, Apple in this year alone where there's recession worries and all, right? Then I still don't sell lah. So and I in fact some of them I buy a lot on Google site. So I think kudos that I am have strong conviction and I just like diamond hand on all these different stocks. Yes, another thing is crypto went all-time high. So crypto is also another roller coaster play, right? Where um sometimes all-time high, sometimes like crash 70%, 60%. So this one I've been holding for quite some time. So luckily it went all-time high this year again. Not sure about next year. Thanks. So it's a lot of VUCA at the moment. But I will just maintain it here lah. Okay. Wins also is all my like constant weekly DCF S&P 500 using Stashaway, right? So I think in my previous video I kind of shared my weekly DCA and how much it gotten me. It's already slightly uh old news now, but I think it is quite okay lah. Like all my weekly DCA and all. Um so far the returns has been quite okay. So yeah. The second part is opposite of a win. I sold Palante too early this year. So at $43, while it's $80 now. I also sold Nvidia too early. I think it's very, very early on in the year, even before the boom. So yeah, I'm not sure what's my thesis back then, but I just sold it and I always say it's overvalued, right? Then uh, the market just proved me wrong lah. But overall, in 2024, quite happy about the performance of my entire portfolio. Um, so yeah, I think what's next for 2025? I think uh I will be utilizing majority of my cash lah. At least the liquid cash as I'm preparing for a property purchase or renovation soon. So in the end of 2025, I'll be saving quite some money. Any bonuses that I may get, then I will most likely save it lah for my property purchase and all. Um, so I think as I buy a property in 2025, right, then I'll be paying progressive interest and rental at the same time lah. So I don't think it will hurt my cash flow. So I think I will most likely reduce in my investment, right? In 2025 also I hope to kind of like um reduce any unnecessary spendings. So 2024 definitely overspent a lot, buying multiple gadgets, buying this, buying that, right, to satisfy my inner child. So yeah, I think that's my high level plan. In terms of execution, I don't know, but I'll try to keep myself disciplined. Yeah, so I think that's all for today's video on my 2024 reflection. please comment down below if you guys did want to see anything else, or any TCs behind the stock, their own stuff like that. So yeah,